was watching this guy online, and he was doing a brake job, and he was talking about bubbles in the system and whatever, and he said to squeeze it, build it up, and he says the more you compress it, the more the little bubbles turn into the big ones, and then what you do is to compress it down and then tie off the brake lever in the compressed position, and the little bubbles will float back up to the reservoir. I don't know. I did that for several days on the back brake, and it's way up there and firm, so we'll see how it does. I don't really, I didn't get any, get out of the light here. I didn't break any lines, and I didn't take any caps off, so I still have the original fluid in there, and it's been above. When I stick a flashlight in there, it's really hard to see because it's still clear. It hasn't darkened up any, so I'm assuming that it's good. And I did learn something in this. I didn't need to spend the money on the front brakes. It was like $66, but then what the hell, I got brakes, new ones all the way around. I'm good for another 24,000 miles, or 25,000 miles. And I got to thinking about my tires here. I was looking at the other day these Michelin's pilots I got, and I put on the last time, and I've changed them out at 15,000, so I got 10,000 miles on those things again, and they're still looking pretty good. The front one is starting to show a little bit more wear than the back one, and well, hell, let's go for a walk. You can see for 10,000 miles, it's still got plenty of tread on it. And the back one, still got, where's my fingernail at? Still got a lot of wear. In fact, there's a wear bar, and it's still below the surface. That's 10,000 miles. Well, it's time to change the spark plugs. They're probably pretty good shape. It hasn't been that long since, it's been what, 12, 16. I have to look at my manual where I wrote everything down, but I've got the number one cylinder marked off here, so I always know which one is which on that. So let me go ahead and pull the boots, and if I can do that around the other side of the bike here. I guess I can't pull those, and you want to be really careful about these cups because they keep the water out, and then if it gets water in here, and then you short out, so you want to be sure that's nice and clean. Okay, take number one out too. Okay, this is the damn thing you got to get pull off for the valve check, and there's a lot of stuff in the way. Nothing like laying on the floor to do something. Okay. You got a good fit. Okay. And I would advise anytime you take them in or out, do it by hand. See, the last thing you want to do is something like this with a Hemi head is to ruin a thread. And these are really, really long threads. And I got a little tub of anti-seize for the new ones. There we go. Okay, let me check that out. Well, the one still in the box is from the 12,000 mile service, and the one on the left out of the box is the one we just took out at 25,000. So I don't really see too much difference in the carbon on the both of them. The newer ones, the one of them was within range on the where's it? One of them was in range on the gap, and the other one was slightly higher. It was at 31, the other one's still down at 28, so it didn't change much. So, and it's not too bad. I would like to see a little darker brown, but I'm going to see what the air screws are when I do the carb tune test. So we'll see then. I may have to richen it up a little bit. Make sure there's no stuff down there, and I've got the end of it all gooped up with anti-seize. Let's get this. I took, oh, okay, it's going in smooth. And I stress again, run this thing. You know it's a long thread and it's going to take a while, so don't be tempted to use any kind of power tool. Just use your old arthritic thumbs and fingers. And grit your teeth. Be sure to support it so you... Okay, I've got it set up on about 8 now, so let me go ahead and do both of them at this lower setting, and then okay. It says 13 Newton meters. Okay, let's go back to 1. Okay. Now I can clean off the holes in the boots. Let me get a rag and clean the boots. Go ahead and clean out about the holes. And go ahead and clean the rubber off here. Make sure the gets seated in, and you push the rubber flange. There we go. You can hear that little click with it. Slipped in. Okay. And then use your fingertips to feel that there is a lip around here. The lip is pushed all the way down around this raised part of the valve cover. There, you can hear that last little bit of, not to be mistaken with a spider bark. There, okay, that's done. And I know that I would like to have a lift if I'm going to adjust the valves the next time around, because I don't want to be laying on the ground. So I'm either going to have a Moto Guzzi V7 or this. Go ahead and take a, the hell is this thing, 10? Most likely it's 10, yep, 10 millimeter, and loosen the nut on the back side of the pivot screws here, and then back out the screw a little bit. There's a little countersink in there, so you can squeeze a little silicone in. and then run the screw in and out a couple times. I've done this too with lithium soap grease. And you know you're getting it down around the shaft there when you screw it down and nothing comes back up again. So, and while you got the covers off, yeah, it's right in there, so we're good to go. Make sure you have it on. Give it a, when you got, the covers are off, look at everything underneath. As I said again, I'll repeat myself, is when you got the covers off, look at everything. Look for, wiggle things, see if any hoses are starting to look funky or wiring might be getting ready to short out on something. There's nothing loose. Especially around in the fuel injection part here. I'm not going to try to tighten anything down, but I know that's okay. Most of these things have wear protectors. You get back here, like into the oxygen sensor goes into the exhaust here, and then we got our new. I was looking at some more of these things for the other side for the silent chain case. I may do that. I can do that at any time, but it just makes it looks nicer, and it sure is going to be a lot easier to get off, and I don't have to worry about stripping those damn things out. So pretty much done with this. I got to roll it out now while I got the covers off in order to be able to get the and you can't see what I'm pointing at. Be able to get the carb tune down into the little tubes for the throttle bodies. So we'll come back. Just a side note here before we finish with this thing. It is her 9th. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rosie. And hopefully many, well, I don't know how many more. At least another year or two. Quit flinking late. So much for that. I'm going to take her outside, warm her up, and put the carb tune on the air inlet nozzles and balance out the air screws. So. I got my carb tune set up here, and I've got them balanced out now. They're running at 24. Manual says 24.8, but as long as they're balanced, I had to move the number 1 screw in and the number 2 screw out to bring one up and the other one down. 1 had to come down, 2 had to come up a little bit. So they're balanced out now. And the idle's good too. So we're done. I can put the panels back on now. I was hearing some ticking in there. I was thinking, no, it can't be the valves. So then I get down close to here and I can stick a screwdriver in. And you can hear the 2 little injectors clicking as it fires for each one of them. So those are fine. Valve cover sounds fine too. And you can see the oil circulating, and it's about halfway up the glass. So oil level's good, and it's pumping. It's always good to check on that. Well, all the panels are back on again. Got her under cover. I'll probably take the battery tender junior off the Honda and stick on her for a while. And then it's supposed to be sunny Saturday and Sunday. I'll probably go out and ride on Sunday, just to give her a break-in, a test. Stay close to home, you know, make sure everything's running fine. But don't know what the next Big Wheels video will be. Maybe it'll be a riding video, or maybe it'll be the tune-up on a Moto Guzzi. Who knows? So see you guys later and stay tuned.